Am I wrong for refusing to give up my dream wedding dress, even though it means my fiance's family won't attend? I'm in a lot of turmoil right now, and it feels like everything is falling apart. I have never had a great relationship with my future mother-in-law. It isn't terrible, but I can sense that she doesn't like me. My fiance is very close to his family, so there has been some tension. I didn't invite my mother-in-law wedding dress shopping because our relationship was awkward, but I thought I'd show her a picture to make her feel included. My dress is a beautiful, flowery, beachy dress, but not technically a wedding dress and could be ordered in color. I bought it from a small local boutique that we both love. My mother-in-law said that I can't wear that dress because she bought the same one for her 50th birthday, which is 2 weeks after my wedding. My mother-in-law does have the dress though in a mint green color. There is enough detailing that it's still clearly the same dress. And she has the receipt to prove that she got it first. Lavish birthday parties are a thing in our circle, so I know she has invested serious time and money. I said that I'm still going to wear the dress, despite the fact I could easily return it with no loss, because I didn't do this out of malice and I love it. She said if she wears it 2 weeks after I do, everyone is going to think she is pathetic in copying her son's wife. I said sorry, but not really my problem. Everyone has gone crazy since I said that. His entire side of the family has backed out of the wedding, so like 15 people, and it will be noticeable. His sisters were supposed to be in the wedding party on his side, but dropped out and have blocked him on everything. His stepdad won't talk to him and says he regrets raising him and he isn't a real man because a real man would stand up for his mom. My fiancé is hurting and found out his family had a big beach day and invited everyone but him. He called mother-in-law and they talked but didn't come to a resolution. She said if I refuse to do the right thing, the only answer is no one going to her party can go to the wedding. He is now mad at me, saying that my mother-in-law had the dress first. So, am I wrong here? I don't want to give up my dream wedding dress. Am I wrong for forcing my daughter to go to a party? I, 44 female, have 3 girls who I'll call May 21, Jessica 19, and Diana 16. Of course I'm biased, but all 3 of them are genuinely beautiful and charming. However, Diana isn't as social as her 2 big sisters. It's the classical teenage sitcom differences. Oh god, this is going south already. May and Jessica were social butterflies in high school. They had lots of friends and were very well known. Diana, on the other hand, has had the same 5-person group of friends since middle school and spends most of their time playing video games, particularly League of Legends and Smash Bros. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say something's wrong with people who play League of Legends? In general, they are more on the geek side. Like I said, a very cliche difference. Diana has had bad luck, and thanks to lockdown, she hasn't had the full high school experience her sisters had. But she doesn't seem as affected as one would think. On one hand, it makes sense. Despite the worst part of the lockdown last year, she pretty much played with her friends online quite often, so I'm guessing she didn't feel as isolated as her sisters during this time, but still, it concerns me a little. Teenage years are a lot about being social and adventurous, and even without this global situation, she chooses to stay indoors. Anyway, the problem is that Diana's high school is planning a Halloween dance this month since last year it was cancelled. I imagine she'd be excited for her first dance, but she just isn't, and yesterday she told us that the day of the dance, Friday the 29th, she and her friends plan to participate in a local League of Legends tournament. This made me angry. She literally has all the time in the world for video games, but a limited amount of high school events, and she's just ditching them for irrelevant video game tournaments. I usually try to be supportive of her hobbies, but this crossed the line, and I told her she couldn't go to the tournament, and if she didn't go to the dance, then she won't go out that day nor play video games for the weekend. Like I said, my girl is as beautiful as her sisters, and I'm sure she wouldn't have a difficult time making friends. She doesn't have anything to be insecure about. When May and Jessica had this dance, they start prepping in September, trying new styles, finding the best costumes, all of that. I would drive them around to help them in any way possible to prepare. I wouldn't call it a tradition, but it's a moment that's also important for me. Oh, I see why you all butthurt about this. After the argument, my husband told me I was being an a-hole, and if she didn't want to go, that was on her. But what if she regrets not going when she's older? She can always play video games, but time won't stop, and she won't be in high school much longer. Still, my husband is rarely this upfront, so I wanted to know, am I wrong here? Am I wrong for sending the police to my stepsister's wedding? I, 32 female, lost my mom when I was 23. It was by far the most traumatic loss I experienced. It was unfair, untimely, and preventable. I got in therapy and was doing better, but I had issues with my dad's new wife and her daughter, who's 25 and just got married weeks ago. We do not have a close relationship, but we were cordial enough to sit at dinner tables. My stepsister treats me as a relative and was as much distant from me. But after my father got sick, we had to see each other a lot. I'm handling his care while stepmom works full-time, and stepsister doesn't do much, though she's always visiting when I moved in to help my dad. I brought with me all of my mom's belongings, and my stepsister showed interest in my mom's necklace and asked if she could borrow it to wear it at her wedding. I refused, and she tried every method to convince me, and I had to put it in a place where I thought it'd be safe after my stepmother got involved. As the wedding approached, they both kept convincing me to let my stepsister have it. She bragged about affording a better one, but it was a matter of showing who's in control. I stood my ground and told them how serious I was, so they backed off. I didn't attend the wedding to stay with my dad. I remember wanting to change where I was hiding the necklace while the house was empty, but I found it was gone. After searching for hours, I called my stepmom and she said not to worry, my stepsister took it and will return it when the wedding is over, but it was clear that I won't see it till after the honeymoon since she and her daughter was staying at the hotel. I screamed at her to return it, but she argued about not wanting to leave the guests and the wedding already started. I told her I'd get it myself, but she forbid me from coming, saying she'd have to keep me out from wanting to make a scene. I called the police and explained to them what was happening. I informed them my stepsister intended to leave for her honeymoon with my property. The police were sent to where the wedding was being held, and they were able to retrieve the necklace from my stepsister. My stepmom returned home and kept shouting at me, calling me petty and crazy, to send the police to my stepsister's wedding, ruining it and humiliating them over a piece of jewelry. She was screaming at my sick dad, telling him to handle me after the stunt that I pulled at the wedding. I defended myself, saying I only wanted an item that belonged to me that they took without my permission returned. She argued further that I could have waited to get it back, but I chose to burn the bridge with my stepsister and said that she considers me dead after this. She said stuff I can't mention, but here's all I can say: it was a bad night. I might have overreacted by getting the police involved, but I had no guarantee of getting the necklace back since I have experience with them in the past. So, was I wrong here?
I have very low standards for McDonald's. I think we all do, but I especially have low standards for McDonald's. One time, I ordered a hot chocolate, and when they handed me my drink, I could smell that it was coffee, and I said, "Oh, this isn't the drink I ordered." And the girl just looked at me and said, "Okay, but we're really busy right now." And I said, "Can you remake it?" And she said, "I said we're really busy right now." And I was like, "Okay." And I took the coffee, and another time I went through and I ordered a pie, and they gave me like a cold pie, and I was just like, it's okay, it's McDonald's, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is if somebody goes to McDonald's on Thanksgiving at dinner time and orders a cheeseburger, that's really sad. And the least you could do is give them a warm cheeseburger, like the Kraft single on this thing, fresh out of the fridge. It is so cold. Patty, cold. All of it, cold. And my aunt's gonna see this and get really angry because she did invite me over, but she lives like 3 hours away, and I was like, that is such a far drive. But then I realized that if I don't go today or tomorrow, the pie is gonna be gone. I'm not gonna tell her that. I'll be like, I just missed you guys so much, but really, they're gonna run out of pie by tomorrow night. So I'm leaving for my aunt's tomorrow. Don't feel bad for me. Also, I didn't want to ruin their family Thanksgiving because I would have strolled in my rainbow shirt, and my cousin would have said, "Is there an agenda behind that rainbow?" And I would be like, "Yeah, there's an agenda behind this rainbow to annoy you." Because my longest standing holiday tradition is imagining the fights that I'm going to have with my family and planning out what I'm going to say. And then when the moment comes, I don't say anything. Spending the holidays alone sounds sad, but it's actually so peaceful.
Am I the asshole for not wanting my husband's brother to be in the delivery room? I'm currently 31 weeks with twins, a boy and a girl. My husband and I are both 21 and we're trying for a baby for about a year before we got pregnant. I've had a pretty rough pregnancy, and my brother-in-law is a medical student, so he's taken quite a lot of interest in my pregnancy and future delivery. We've gotten along well. He's 24 and I've known my husband's family since we were children, so we've pretty much grown up together. A few days ago, my husband told me that my brother-in-law had expressed an interest in being there whilst I gave birth, mainly because it would be beneficial from an education standpoint. Also, so my husband can have support, as I'll have my mom. And there's no restriction on how many people can be in the room. I said absolutely not. Am I the asshole for not wanting my husband's brother to be in the delivery room? I said absolutely not. There's no way in hell that I'm allowing that. I'm not even overly keen on allowing my husband to watch me go through that, let alone his brother. He said it'd be a good experience for him and his degree, and I said that as much as I supported him, my experience of having a pleasant birth was my priority. He got defensive and said that he should be allowed to have a support person too, which I suppose I do understand, but I just feel really comfortable about it all. He said that it was just as much his right as mine to have someone there to support him. It basically turned into a huge argument with his brother and mom being dragged into it as well. Am I the asshole for saying no to him being in the delivery room? Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit our daughter? I, 29 male, bought my wife, 25 female, 2 tickets to visit her grandma in Italy next week. The other ticket was for our daughter, 4 female, since I assumed she'd be taking her. She's saying she wants a break from the kids on her vacation. I told her that was unfortunate since there's no way that our daughter cannot go if she goes. This is because I have work and don't want to take time off to babysit our daughter for an entire week. I suggested we have someone else watch her, but we don't know anyone that lives close by who'd be willing to watch her. I love my daughter, but I don't want to take a week off to babysit her. I bought the tickets for her birthday. I don't know, I'm just wondering, am I the asshole for refusing to babysit our daughter here? Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter visit her boyfriend? I, 49 male, have a daughter, 16 female, that lives with me full-time. Her mother and I divorced when she was 3 years old. My daughter is very tomboyish and loves to play video games. When she turned 15, I bought her a gaming PC. She was very excited and has been playing a ton of games. She told me she met a boy in one of the games and that they've been chatting for a few months now. She then told me that they were in a relationship and have been planning on meeting in person. He lives in Florida but does not want to travel due to certain circumstances. Her plan is to visit him during Christmas. She's never seen an actual photo of him since they met, and he's asked her multiple times to purchase items for him. I asked my daughter to let me go with her, but she says I should trust her.